it was Halloween, and little Myrtle was happily singing outside the cottage near the thick of the woods where she lived with her grandfather, an old woodman.
Oh, when a girl is in her teens, her fancy turns to love. And when the day is Halloween, his love she's thinking of. When the harvest moonlight gleams, he will find him in her dream. So make a wish upon a star, and it will see you through. When the
In another part of the woods lived Bertel, the son of a cobbler. Bertel had come to fit Myrtle with the little shoes he was making for her.
Little shoes I make for you to fit your tiny feet. With every tack I hammer through, my heart begins to beat. With my magic hammer I will shine these shoes I make. With my magic hammer I will bless each step you take. Little shoes for dancing to make your life a joy. We will go romancing when little girl meets boy.
Soon the woodman came along. He told him he was going to the village to get a new axe. But it's Halloween, said Myrtle. The witches and goblins will be out. You mustn't go through the woods tonight. Tut, tut, said the woodman. I'll be safe, all right. And he hurried away.
It's a lovely night, nothing can harm me. Not afraid to fight Pixie's whole army. Goblins don't exist, witches don't scare. They don't bother me, why should I care?
He whistled in the dark. To get to the village was a long journey through the lonely woods. The forest does look strange, he thought. It was getting dark and the woods thick, and in the distance he could hear Boo Boo, the giant bear, grunting. He came out and went back again. But the woodman continued right on. Suddenly he came upon a bunch of big eggs nestled in the roots of a beech tree. What thumping big eggs, he said. I'll take 'em home and hatch 'em out. So he gathered them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he carried them carefully as he walked into the black night. At long last he reached home and excitedly told Myrtle and Bertel about the eggs. He put them in a basket near the fireplace and said, "We'll have a big omelet for breakfast." when suddenly the eggs showed signs of life. One began to shift. Then another. Then another. And out of one egg popped a head. Out of another a foot. Another head. Another foot. There was a cackling and squealing and squirming, and soon 6 little bodies came wriggling out of the 6 eggs. Look, they're elves, cried the woodman, as they started a wild kind of dance. Just like babies, said Myrtle. We must feed them. So they fetched several pans of milk, and when the milk was all gulped up, Myrtle said, now we need a cradle. So they fetched her old cradle from the cellar and put the 6 little elves in it. Myrtle felt like a little mother, so she sang them to sleep as she rocked the cradle. While they were asleep, Myrtle made them some pretty clothes, and when they woke up, she dressed them. But in spite of the nice clothes and care, they became mischievous and played all sorts of pranks. They pulled the cat's tail. They upset the water pail. They pulled the woodman's whiskers. They took his glasses, and they hid his pipe. The woodman became very angry, but he was helpless to make him behave. They acted like imps. He struck a match to search for his pipe, and at once the elves stopped and stared at the light. Look, they're hypnotized, said the woodman. Now I know what I'll do. I'll light the candle in the lantern and lead them back to the woods where I found them. So, with the lighted candle in the lantern, the woodman, Myrtle, and Bertle went into the night, the elves marching after them, their eyes glued to the light. At last they found the beech tree, and the woodman hung the lantern on a broken branch, the little elves still staring at the candlelight. Then silently and sadly, the woodman, Myrtle and Bertle, left them behind and started back home. They arrived at home. All three felt lonely, though they didn't say so. The girl was crying secretly. So was the boy. And the woodman probably too. Yeah, there he goes. So they went to bed. After they woke up, the woodman and Bertle went into the woods to cut down some trees. Myrtle was left alone in the hut. And all of a sudden there was a rummaging sound at the back door. Stealthily something was making its way into the hut. Soon a thump was heard. Another thump. And another thump. Myrtle, frozen with terror, looked up, and there before her very eyes was the beast who had stolen so many children, Boo-Boo the giant bear. Threw the table in his path and ran behind a chair. But the hulk of the huge bear was almost within reach. Ready to gulp her down, he lifted his right paw, then his left paw. When he stood up, his head reached the ceiling, his red tongue lolling between his big sharp teeth. When tumbling and running like a streak came the 6 little elves from the forest. The candle had burned itself out and they were released from the hypnotic spell. Into the hut they leaped, and in a flash they pounced on the bear. One took hold of his tail and twisted it like a rope. Another climbed on his back and pulled his ears. 2 more grabbed his legs and held him, while 2 of the others crawled under his arms and began to tickle him. The bear started to laugh. The little elves tickled and tickled. The bear laughed louder and louder. They tickled and tickled, and out he ran down the path into a large lake so deep he disappeared under the water. Little elves had actually tickled him to death. Everybody was happy, and they all marched off to the village to tell the folks how the heroic elves had saved little Myrtle's life. The town crier called out the news, and all the citizens gathered in jubilation to celebrate the strange and joyous Hallowe'en. They ran up to the hills, men, women, children, animals, and danced a joyous and exuberant, happy polka around the 6 little heroes.
Everything dandy, there's to be and a happy. The laughing moon is in the sky, like a big pie, winking his eye. Stars are dancing, spirits are high, diddle, diddle, die. With the dark flying, goblins flying, flying and flying in the dark night. Carefully yowling, drums are going, yellow, yellow, yes, jackal and white. Hear that old moon high above, telling us all the falling love. You can feel that hook of romantic blood, feeling of falling love. And the sweet moon is in the sky, like a big eye, winking his eye. There's our dancing, spirits are high, diddle, diddle, die.
Behave like 6 little gentlemen. And I've heard it said before another Halloween rolled around, one of them became mayor of the town.